in search of a photo with President Trump. Inácio, now CNN itself, reveals he wasn't going to the G7. He wouldn't go to this meeting that's going to happen in France. Jange's insistence on obviously being in Paris, and the need to have, even if it's just a selfie. A meeting that lasts just seconds with Inácio acting desperately, right? He called on all his advisors and political activists to get involved in this. I believe that this time it will be different. Imagine the humiliation it will be if he doesn't make it. I don't think he will make it. Sources are already saying that Trump won't meet with him there. And then it gets so humiliating that he'll be waiting for Trump to walk down the hallway, in one of the places where the G7 will take place, just to try to get a picture with the President of the United States, because he met with Flavio Bolsonaro a few days ago. And that's because they said they weren't afraid. No, look, Flavio is irrelevant. I'll show you everything here. Hit the like button, come be part of our family, share it a lot, because that really helps our work here. Before we begin, I want to share an opportunity. Let me show you the Linfurbios here. I only post videos here that I made in the past few days. 2 kilos in a day. Then people say, no, it's just water and stuff. Look at the images. Look at my face. Look at my face. I only sell the product here that I fully trust. Look at my face. Look at the image. This was months ago. It hasn't even been a year. It's only been months, not even a year. I know what I'm talking about. Look at the pants. See? My pants. Look how loose it is. And look, it's already here. I don't wear a belt, see? You can fit a hand in here. The product works, obviously. The person has to have, discipline. Dieting is like this. We have to plan. But it helps a lot, guys. It was 20 kilos. 20 kilos that I lost, right? After 40, it gets harder for us to lose weight. Losing weight, it's really harder. Even practicing physical activity every day, and I do. I wasn't able to lose weight. Focus, discipline, being able to lose. The images speak for themselves. Look at my face. My face is totally different, right? So, it's worth it. If you don't want to miss this opportunity, it's an easier, completely natural way. It's a little powder that you add, right? Especially to those greasy meals. It will help you eliminate fat, lose inches. The link is right below. A great opportunity to lose weight in a healthy way. With quality of life, it changes everything. Pants that didn't fit before start to fit, our self-esteem gets much higher. That's a fact, right? Link right below, for those who don't want to miss this opportunity to lose weight today, okay? The PT, they're so afraid. Lula is so afraid of this man here that they end up wetting their pants. That's how desperate they get because of what Bolsonaro means. You know why? You guys are seeing Bolsonaro's mom there, right? She has already passed away. She's with the Lord, in the arms of the Lord, but she's there. A big tribute will be made to her, right? A highway here in the state of São Paulo will be named after President Bolsonaro's mother, Mrs. Olinda Bolsonaro. And would you believe it? The PT, right, went there, and now they want to remove it. Of course they won't succeed. They won't succeed. They want to remove the name of Bolsonaro's mother, President Bolsonaro, from the Overpass, which was already all set and everything, and it's still set, right? That's how desperate they are. Why? You'll never see that so-called Lindu. The woman who brought this beast into the world. This beast being honored here in the state of São Paulo, right? You will never see that. Maybe you'll see it in the Northeast, because all the politicians there are terrible, right? It's just outrageous. Governors who are elected because of the misery and poverty in the countryside of the Northeast, who give victory to these cronies, right? Of course, they leave the population with nothing to eat or drink. And with crumbs, maybe. I don't even think there are any, but Maybe it could happen. But here in Sao Paulo, my friends, it's different. Just look. The tribute to President Bolsonaro's mother, Olinda Bolsonaro, on a viaduct in Diadema, in Greater Sao Paulo, has become the target of political dispute. Right? Congresswoman Beth Saão introduced a bill proposing the removal of the name. The one honoring the matriarch of President Bolsonaro's family. Right? The structure is located at kilometer 15 of the Imigrantes Highway. The change of the viaduct's name came from a bill by Congressman Paulo Mansour and was sanctioned by Tarcísio. It will happen. She can do what she wants since she's irrelevant. It's not the majority. Here in Sao Paulo, thankfully, the right wing is in control. But you'll see who Beth Saão is, okay? According to the proposal by the PT Congresswoman, the overpass would be renamed Beatriz da Acorte Party Overpass, in honor of former state Congresswoman Bia Party, one of the founders of Salvador's party. Look, this is the woman whose name she wants removed. From President Bolsonaro's mother to put in an irrelevant PT member who did nothing for the state. She was elected and never did absolutely anything here for the state. So, Beth Saão, just so you have an idea, is from the region here of São José da Rupina de Catanduva. People have disgust for this woman. Real disgust, and you'll see here that it's a fact. Look here, the company is accused of making an illegal donation to the Congresswoman. This is this woman's past. The public prosecutor's office is insisting that the company Kit Casa Industrial from Sao Paulo be convicted for making an illegal donation to Beth Saão's campaign from the Workers' Party. And look, in the past, we used to have this sense of justice. Petistas were investigated, convicted, imprisoned, and so on. But they gradually took over the entire justice system, and today we're seeing what happens here in Brazil. Just recently, her closest advisor, was arrested in the major operation Rei dos Piques, for embezzling millions in Catanduva. This woman here. A joint operation by the military police here in Sao Paulo and the public prosecutor's office arrested the direct aide of this woman. Because it's always like this, right? It's always the aides who get arrested. You don't understand how it works, right? The operation mobilized 200 military police officers, 10 arrest warrants, and more than 50 search and seizure orders. So it's this woman here, who has even been mentioned before, right? Yeah, in past operations and stuff, right? Just type it here, you see? I'll put it here, look. Beth Saão, she was even involved in the asphalt mafia. It's right here, look. She was even mentioned in asphalt mafia. Look here, see? A deputy's name appears on the list. Here the report is closed, but you can see it quickly here. On the asphalt mafia list, the mention, right? Her name was put there. So we see, it's a horror show. So these PT supporters, people who want to take away a tribute that the majority granted to our dear Olinda Bolsonaro. And speaking of Bolsonaro, Lula, desperate, completely desperate. Flavio was there the other day, just fixing the microphone here, right? Yeah, with Trump, right? He was there with Trump, everyone noticed. He went. The extraordinary moment of Flavio.
The moment.
Totally pissed off, right? Pissed off, outraged. With the country already? Whoa, where have you ever seen that? Are you going to be there with Trump and all? Because Flavio was received with a red carpet by the White House. He stayed there for hours, right? He got all that head of state treatment that Lula didn't get in the United States. Lula didn't get that. Lula basically had to turn to Jose Josley Batista to be able to get to the White House. And Trump didn't even want to talk to him, right? Now, this news here, look. CNN posted that Lula wasn't going to the G7, which starts tomorrow. He only changed his mind and decided to rush there after Flavio was received by President Trump. The PT member felt the blow of parallel diplomacy, and now Idamarati is begging for 5 minutes of attention from someone in some hallway. While President Bolsonaro's family is received with a red carpet, Lula is going to be internationally embarrassed, begging for a photo. Look at what CNN reveals here.
Bloco, is there any expectation from President Lula and Brazil's foreign ministry of having any conversation with Trump during this trip? Look.
There's always some expectation, right? Hope is the last thing to die. But let's see, there's really nothing scheduled, nothing official so far. There's even the perspective that an informal conversation in a way could ease things a bit, right? Like what happened at the UN some time ago. So of course it could happen, yes. But so far, there's still no prospect. What is expected is a bilateral meeting with the Prime Minister of Japan and also with the Prime Minister of France, Emmanuel Macron, especially since he is the host of the event, right? The G7. But just to emphasize, at first Lula didn't even intend to go.
To the G7?
He changed his mind after Flavio visited Donald Trump and also because of the new American tariffs, Caio.
Because it looked really bad, right, Flavio? He is a pre-candidate, right? And he was received with all the honors of a head of state. Diego Muguedo even adds here, look. Notice the details in the video. That's what was said. The journalist mentions hoping for an informal conversation. In other words, Brazilian diplomacy has failed. So much so that the tactic now is to lie in wait in the hallway at the bathroom door to try to get a picture. Right, yeah, to try to show that he has support, that he has prestige. Man, what a humiliating situation Lula is in. He's going to be in the hallway by the bathroom, waiting, begging for a photo. According to what people are saying here, he's going to wait for Trump to walk down the hallway, or go to the bathroom, or somewhere like that, so he can try to get a picture with the President of the United States. A PT supporter is capable of anything, right? And they're capable of anything. Let me tell you, that's the truth. That surprised everything and everyone. Show this video to more people. Just when we thought the humiliation had eased up, Lula goes and says something like this. Share, like, and subscribe to join our Paisafilos family. I'll return soon with more news and updates on the channel. Fabiano Gigay. Wow, man.